So last time we saw that business process right, we saw that how, when you click here, it launched the workflow right, and we saw, like, how we can configure the workflow. Now one more thing. That is called your form. In the SailPoint we have form. So when you click on this, create identity, this form launched right. So from where SailPoint create this form and how can we modify this form? So if you go here this lifecycle manager, so for the business process we verified, okay, this is a business process trigger for all these quick links, right? Same way, we have this ID provisioning policy. So this is called your form. So if you see for the create, we don't have any form defined here. This is a form. Basically, this is the one form. If you click here, you will see this form. If you click on this button preview form, you will see how it will look like. Okay, but if you see, here we don't have any create ID for our update ID form. But still, if you click on this, create identity, it will launch form here. Okay, and if you also do this, edit identity, it will again launch a form here. So how SailPoint is basically launching this form, right? The purpose of form to capture some input from the user, right? So how SailPoint is building that form, so SailPoint has a capability. If you don't define a form, SailPoint will ultimately build a form on the runtime based on the total number of attributes that we have defined here in identity mapping. Let's say whatever attribute you see here. Based on that, SailPoint will build a form on the runtime. That is basically default. But we don't use this default, we customize it. So how can we customize it? How can we define our own form? So click on this, add policy. Provide the form name. Let's say create. Identity form for contractor. Okay, giving any name. Now add section. In the section I have to add few fields. For example, I have to add first name apply. Add one more field. Last name apply. Add one more field. Password. Apply one more field, confirm password. Add few more, let's say manager. Okay, let's say, add field. We can add here. Display name, yeah, we can add email. Yeah. Add email. I think this should be enough. We can add one customize also. Sorry, let me save this first email apply. Add one more. Add field, let's say department. So this is we have added. Now save this form. And we must include at least one field name field. Okay, we have to add this mandatory field name. Apply. Okay, save it. What is the name and first name difference? So first name is basically here. If you open any identity, this is your first name. This is your last name. Okay, what is the name of the object? Complete name, full name. Yeah, no, not the complete name. So every object has a name or ID in SailPoint, right? So how can you check that? If you go to debug you, let's say this identity, let's say, if you open this one, okay, in SailPoint. If you click this, it will split this line. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, so in SailPoint every object has two properties, unique properties, that is, one is ID and other one is name. So this is a name that this form is asking that we should define a name so we can assign a new attribute. You can check with any attribute, let's say application. HRMS. You will see here ID. Let me split this line using this button, so you see ID and name. So these are the two unique properties SailPoint has for all the objects. Okay, so that's why it was giving me error, that you have to define the name attribute. Now, if you see this is coming up here, save this. Okay, go back again. Now you can click and you can see this form. Okay, preview this form. This is how it will look like. Okay, you see, username is coming as mandatory. That is basically name attribute. Now go back to your Manage Identity. Create Identity form. Now we'll see those attributes that only we have defined. You see, name is also coming. Create Identity form for contractor. Okay, so this is how we can modify. So basically what I want to show you here. Lifecycle Manager has this tab Identity Projecting Policy. So we have this operation, create identity, update identity, and send service. Right. So using this way, you can define your own customized form. Okay, it's a basic. There was one more option like select row with column something select. What is that? When you create the identity form. So there was add new row, I guess new field, and one more second option was there. So what was that? You're talking about this one. Yes, so your add row with column. Oh, this is basically if you want to add two fields in same row, in same section, like first time, like here, and let me show you, add row with columns so it will ask how many fields. Okay. So you see, now it's divided here. Let's say we can get first and last name together. Yeah, that's the region and the location. We do have location or, let's say, email ID. Okay, now go to preview. Now you see region and this is coming like this. Okay, save this. Save this. Open this form again. Create identity. Now at the bottom you'll see these two fields are coming in same row. Basically, yeah, got it. Okay. So basically, this is how we create form. Now one more thing I want to show you. Yeah, self-service. You see, self-service form is also there, right? This is not widely used, but just for knowledge purpose. I'm giving you an idea how this works. So SailPoint also provides self-service form. If you log out here, you will not see any link here. Only those users who have credential, they can log in here. Right, but SailPoint also one more way that it will show a link here through which you can register yourself. So for that you have to go here. Lifecycle Manager, Configure. You have to enable that self-service. That is disabled by default. Enable self-service registration. Save now, log out. Now you'll see this new registration. It will again launch a form. Okay, so now, if you see this, this is the name of the form, self-service registration form, and these are the fields. So if I log in and I show you this form here, this is the same form that they're using for self-service. So same way you can modify this form here. Okay, based on each application, we can modify. No, this is not an application specific. All these constrictions are not application specific. You can have 100, 200, 500 applications. Application is just